welcome to another episode of, is it Guild Wars? No, it's actually a crossover between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. And that's because today we're going to be discussing the Hall of Monuments. And there's actually people online. So we're going to be discussing the Hall of Monuments. And the Hall of Monuments, in a nutshell, is that the achievements in Guild Wars 1, certain achievements in Guild Wars 1, earn you exclusive items in Guild Wars 2. Now, I apologize ahead of time that the sound is muted because I love the music in Eye of the North, but there's just so much going on between the sparkling destroyer over here and all the people, and then once I go into my Hall of Monuments, it gets even louder. So I actually had to re-record this. But anyways, as I said, the long story short is that the stuff that you earn in Guild Wars 1 gets you exclusive and special items in Guild Wars 2. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to hop into my Hall of Monuments and I'm going to explain how you get that started, how you can earn some points of your own, and go into what items you can get. So, Guild Wars as a whole, you have to remember, is broken up into 3 games and an expansion. Guild Wars Prophecies is the main game, and it is the storyline that most flows into Guild Wars 2. Then there is Guild Wars Factions, which takes place on a continent known as Cantha. And then there is Guild Wars Nightfall, which takes place in Alona, which mostly flows into Guild Wars 2 Path of Fire. And then connecting those 3 games is the expansion known as Guild Wars Eye of the North. And Guild Wars Eye of the North is the bridge between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. It introduced the Norn, it introduced the Deldrimor Dwarves, which was Ogden here, and then it introduced the Asura, which is Vec, and his type, as they were made to go above ground. You get to see the founding of Radasum. You get to see the dwarves all melding to become one with the Great Dwarf, minus Ogden himself, which later he did it. That's just like a little bit of spoiler. But anyway, so this is my Hall of Monuments. So one thing I want to make clear, anyone who wants to play Guild Wars 1, it is not free to play. Well, it's not free as in the sense that you have to actually buy the game. So the game costs $20. You can pay $20 for a Platinum Edition. I believe that the Trilogy is $20 as well. The Platinum Edition does come with at least Guild Wars Prophecies and Guild Wars Eye of the North. And no matter what you do, whatever Guild Wars you have, you want to make sure that it has Eye of the North. If it does not have Eye of the North, you're not going to be able to participate in the Hall of Monuments, because you cannot get to this area without the expansion. So, another thing I want to make clear is that if you think you're just going to hop into the Guild Wars game, start playing Eye of the North with some level boost or something, and just kind of get it all over with, then you are wrong. So one thing I pointed out in my last thing is that Guild Wars 1 only has a level cap of level 20. However, getting to level 20 is actually kind of difficult, considering that you cannot kill monsters to grind your levels. You get barely any experience from monsters. All your experience comes from quests, and comes from doing cooperative missions, which is what progresses the storyline. So say you start with Guild Wars Prophecies. Well, first you have to do the pre-searing tutorial, which we do not see on this map. And once you get out of the pre-searing tutorial, you're about level 8, or you should be at least level 8. You might be, like, maybe level 7. Anything lower than that, you are gonna be boned. But you should be at least level 8 to 10. Once you get spit out of that, you are in Ascalon City. You'll do quests up until you start doing the cooperative missions, but just the cooperative missions, you have to do the Great Northern Wall, Fort Rannick, Ruins of Sirmia. Then you have to go to Nolani, and then after Nolani, you're spit into the Shiver Peaks. Well, the Shiver Peaks, even though the central transfer chamber is right here for Eye of the North, you're not allowed to access that area. So, at least not from here. So you have to go through Borless Pass, the Frost Gate, and then do all the little mini quests leading up to the Gates of Kryta. Then once you do the Gates of Kryta, you finally get access to Lion's Arch. In Lion's Arch, you're given a quest to go check out these strange tremors that have been happening throughout the land here in Kryta. All these earthquakes. You find this crack in the ground, and you drop down into the hole, and then it leads you into a story mission, which then pops you out in Eye of the North. So that's how long it takes. By the time you make it to Eye of the North, you're like level 15, 16 at the least. And because this is the expansion area, everything in Eye of the North is level 20 and above, which means you want to be max level before you tackle the expansion, but you don't have to be, especially if you have more people to play with. So that's one thing I wanted to get out of the way. So you can't just hop in here. There are no level boosts that you can buy. There's no way to really cheat the system. You actually have to go through the game, at least until you make it to Lion's Arch, so that you can get to this point right here. Another thing I want to point out is that when you go into the Hall of Monuments for the first time, none of these walls will have these tabards. These tabards are earned by completing chapters of the Eye of the North story. Now, I believe, which don't quote me on this because it's been a very long time since I did this, I believe you have to complete Eye of the North, the entire storyline. I believe you have to complete Eye of the North in order to get all the tabards for your Hall of Monuments. So, yeah. So not only do you have to complete the main campaign up until you reach a port town and get the quest to, go investigate the earthquakes, which will lead you to Eye of the North, not only do you have to do that, but then you have to actually go through the Eye of the North story in order to unlock these tabards, because until you unlock these tabards, you cannot use these stations. And these stations are necessary for earning points to go towards getting your items in Guild Wars 2. But when you first enter, you get one tabard. When you first enter this chamber for the first time, you get one tabard, and you don't have to take my advice, but if I were you, I would place the first tabard here at Devotion. And the reason why is because this entire station here is dedicated to mini-pets, or miniatures. I call them mini-pets, but they're miniatures. So, miniatures are earned every year that you are playing Guild Wars. Every time your character reaches a year mark, so a year from when they were made, they get a present in their inventory. Years 1 through 5, you get a present, which you can click and open. And years 6 and onwards, you get an envelope that you can then turn into a guy in Lion's Arch, and then choose what type of present you want, right? So now you're probably going, wow, you have a lot of miniatures, there's no way you've been playing for this many years. And you're right. Like I said, each character gets a birthday present. So, I've been playing for about 9 years. So 9 of these belong to my main character, another 9 belong to my alt characters, and then 9 more belong to the other 5 characters that I have. So it's not hard to imagine that I've accumulated 50 plus pets for all the characters that I have on my account and how many years I've been playing. So, but Devotion. So this is the Hall of Devotion, and it says, in all things there's a time for work and a time for play, for small pleasures, a time for one to look back upon bright days and delicate treasures, never lost, never weary. Witness here the miniature collection of the legendary hero Ersei Mitsuhide and her account whose achievements will never be forgotten. And it shows what's currently displayed, but there's a lot more. Additional miniatures that I could display are all listed here, so I have a lot of minis. So anyways, looking at my handy dandy list that I printed out for the Hall of Monuments, you get points for any miniature statue. So your first miniature statue, you'll get 1 point. A rare miniature statue will give you another point. A unique miniature statue will give you another point. And then you get points for 20, 30, 40, and 50 miniatures. So my stand for Devotion is complete because I've completed 50 miniatures and I've gotten all the rest. So this is the only station that I have that is absolutely complete. So the good thing about miniatures is that you can actually buy them from people. My advice is to go on the Guild Wars wiki, look up the list of miniatures, because you cannot place duplicates in this station. So print out a list of all the miniatures, seasons 1 through 5, or 1 through 4, or whatever, and just kind of check them off as you go. That way you're not getting duplicates. You can go, if you look here, I'm gonna go over here. Whoa, I'm gonna go over here to the boat. If you click on the boat, which becomes available once you get to Lion's Arch, if you have the other 3 games, you have the options to go to Commandant Jewel of Easton. and other places. But if you go to Commandant, that is like market central. People are selling all of their extra stuff. This includes like just rare items, rare weapons, etc., materials, whatever. But a lot of people will sell their miniatures for cheap, and some people will even just give them away because they take up so much inventory space. But when you get a miniature, you want to make sure that it has not already been dedicated in a Hall of Monuments. So when you're asking for miniatures and willing to buy them, please make sure that they're not dedicated. You can tell if a miniature is dedicated is if you go to it, like say this is a miniature, in the little window that pops up, it'll have gray writing at the bottom that'll say dedicated in the Hall of Monuments if it's already been dedicated. So a non-dedicated miniature will not have that, which means it's okay for you to dedicate it in your own Hall of Monuments. So, like I said, I would open this one first because these are definitely the easiest ones to get. You can get miniatures for anywhere from 500 gold to 1 platinum each, and not even that. Some people will sell them cheaper, some people will just give them away. So you can easily start building up a collection without having to wait years upon years to get those. Yeah. And then over here we have the stand for fellowship. This is where your hero statue goes, and these are where the statues for your animal companions go. So animal companions, those are the pets that you tame as a hunter, or I mean as a ranger, and your pets level up with you. When you first tame a pet, they will always be level 5, and then you have to level them up to level 20. Once they've reached level 20, you can then show them off at the animal companion, with the animal companion statue. There are special pets. There's the Black Widow Spider, the Black Moa, the Imperial Phoenix. There's some other pets that you can display that get their own statues because they are special. They are rare. You can only get them through certain achievements and certain quests, especially the Black Moa, which is like the most infamous pet of Guild Wars. And then, of course, there's the Mox statue. So the Mox statue, I think, is really interesting because he doesn't have any armor upgrades, as far as like getting him a special set of armor. You can automatically dedicate him in the Hall of Monuments. You automatically get a point for placing his statue there. That gives you 1 hero achievement. That gives you 1 hero statue for the Hall of Monuments. So that one's pretty funny. I don't know why. But anyways, in Guild Wars, you cannot play solo. So me being in a party by myself right now, that's kind of weird. It's only because there's no monsters in here. Normally, I would have my full party of 8 with my heroes. So just like with your character, your heroes, you have to equip them with armor. Well, heroes, you cannot change their armor unless you buy them specific armor that is unlocked through quests or other things. If you go on the Guild Wars wiki, you can see what kinds of armor are available for your heroes. But once you get your hero their customized armor, you can get them their own statue. So like, I usually play with like Ogden and Dunkoro and Elias and Livia and Master of Whispers. If I were to give them all of their specific armor, they could have statues here as well. But getting their armor is actually really difficult. Sometimes it requires you to have already beaten the campaign that you recruited them from. Sometimes it just requires a lot of rare materials that cost a lot of money. And sometimes it requires a rank or something that maybe I don't have. I just usually know that getting it does take a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, and sometimes the tasks it takes to actually get them their armor is really difficult. So the Fellowship is something I've not been working on as much because I really wanted to focus on getting my character stuff first. So moving on to here, this is the honor thing. So right here I have the Eternal Hero of Tyria, and that is the Statue of the Lich. That is the final boss of Guild Wars Prophecies, so as you probably already have figured out, I earned this statue because I finished Guild Wars Prophecies. Not only that, but I think the staff was added afterwards because I defeated War on Kryta, but I'm really not sure. But anyways, I did beat Guild Wars Prophecies. It did take a while. Like, these games are not easy. I will always say that Guild Wars 1, like Guild Wars Classic, is harder than Guild Wars 2 by a long shot. Like, just the limited amount of skills that you get, even with the dual professions, like your heroes and stuff, needing heroes, the way in which gold is distributed and everything, like, everything about it is tough. You're always broke, you're almost always near death, like, it is difficult. So I got this trophy and I'm proud of it. And right now I'm working on Guild Wars Nightfall, and once I beat Nightfall, that'll get me another statue. Now, there are other statues that you can place in honor as well. They're all tied to your titles. So if I go to my hero page, if I go to my titles, there's like all these titles, etc. So like, I think you get one for Eternal Sunsphere, and that's once you like get like the top rank of Sunsphere points available. I don't know how you do that. There's Eternal Slayer, which you get for filling out the Norn, and Eternal Agent, and Eternal Delver, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, like, I think, and even these, I think the Explorer title, I think all of those end up translating into some sort of statue here. Alehound for the Drunkard title track. Once you reach Alehound, you get a statue for Alehound. So there's like different things that you can achieve. Sweet Tooth, I think it turns into Party Animal eventually, and Party Animal you get another statue. So there's different things that you can do to earn different titles that will eventually translate into the honor statues that you can place here. So it's not just for beating the campaigns, but, you know, in the process of doing those things to get those titles, like in the process of trying to buy all that alcohol, I think I can at least try and beat the games. So there's that. Over here, this is my other stand that I've actually done the most for. And this is the resilience portion of the Hall of Monuments, and it's all based in your armor. So, but it's not just any armor that you can display. These are known as prestige and elite armors. So, as we can see, I got my Asura, I've got my Norn, I've got my Monument, which is the Ebon Vanguard, and I've got my Vabian armor. So in order to get the Monument, the Norn, and the Asura armor, you actually have to earn reputation points with those factions. So Not Too Annoying is actually for the Asura, Slayer of Worms is for the Norn, and Shadow Agent is for the Ebon Vanguard. So what happens is whenever you leave a town, whenever you leave a portion of Eye of the North, so say I were to leave Eye of the North, or say I were to go outside Eye of the North, or Boreal Station, or even Gunner's Hold or something, there are always these resurrection stations that are really nearby. They're really close by. And there's always a person standing off to the side of them, which I'll show you this. When you talk to that person, they'll give you a signet, which will appear. It's a blessing, quote unquote, which will appear on the side of your screen. And it'll tell you that for each creature you kill, you get 1 reputation point. And then you get a bonus for every 25 kills. And so that is how you earn your reputation, is by killing stuff. So if you kill stuff in the Maguma jungle, you get stuff for Asura, you know. If you kill Char and things in the Char lands, you get reputation points with the Ebon Vanguard. And if you kill creatures outside of the Shiver Peaks, you get reputation towards the Norn. You have to reach rank 5 in reputation before you are even able to buy the armor. And then once you're able to buy this armor, which is, like I said, it's called Prestige Armor. Once you're able to buy this armor, you have to have the materials to make it, and the platinum, aka the gold, to make it as well. So not only do you have to fight your way to earning 26,000 reputation points, you also have to have 50 platinum to afford everything, and the 400 bolts of cloth and 40 bolts of whatever other material it takes to make this armor. So I've gotten 3 of the reputable armors, the prestige armors for Eye of the North, and then Vabian armor was actually just a special armor you had for completing like so many quests to get you to this one location where you could just buy it so long as you had the money and the right materials. But the materials, man, it cost ruby and sapphires and Elonian leather, and like, it was expensive. I ended up selling everything in my treasure chests, in my Zunlai chest, just to afford that armor. Over here, you have the Valor Station, and this is where you display your elite special weapons. So I only have one, and it's called the Oppressor's Staff, and I got that via beating the War on Kryta which is the story extension after you beat Guild Wars Prophecies. You cannot complete it until you play through that little portion. So, anyways, what ended up happening with that is that there's other weapons as well. There's tormented weapons, destroyer weapons, and there's there's obsidian weapons, I think, is another one. But there's just a bunch of different weapons that you can get. You get 1 point for a tormented weapon, 1 point for a destroyer weapon. For having 5 weapons, you get a special point. So oppressor weapons are pretty much the easiest to get, and even those weren't easy because trying to get the materials that you turn in to get the 10 Medal of Honors to get this, like, it's not always easy. So these are just some of the things that I've done in my Hall of Monuments. These are what got me some points, and now I'm gonna go ahead and show you how you can get, hello Kimes. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what you can do in order to get the reputation, because like I said, the miniatures are pretty easy. You can buy them, and you'll earn one for every year that you play. Same with the armor. The armor's the second easiest, because all you gotta do is farm that reputation, and then farm the materials, in order to get those armors to get the easy points. So we're going to travel to Sifala. But anyways, alright, sorry, I had to take a quick break. That's not the way I want to go. I want to go this way. And I'm not gonna get into my party, because there's really no point. Because I'm not going anywhere that has any monsters, so I'm not gonna die or anything. But normally you cannot play Guild Wars 1 solo. That's another thing, is that you cannot play like this. You have to have heroes. So I just left the town of Sifala, and right here we have what's known as a resurrection station. It's basically like a checkpoint in case you die. If I pull up my mini-map by pressing U, the resurrection stations are marked via these anks right here. But anyways, whenever you go to a resurrection station, there's somebody standing near it. It'll either be like a soldier or a Norn or an Asura. So we're gonna go up to them.
Hail, Lowlander.
And he says, "Never stop fighting, not even when they come for your cold dead corpse, eh, adventurer? I think I can kill more of these creatures than you can." And you click this little signet that says, "I'll take that bet." So instantly up in our screen, that gave us the Norn Hunting Party Blessing. And like I said, we earn 1 Norn reputation point for each creature that we kill in this area, and after 25 kills, we receive a bonus. So some of you might be groaning because you're like, oh crap, I have to earn 26 reputation points, or 26,000 reputation points, and I only get 1 point at a time. Well, that's actually not true. Every 25 kills, you'll actually get a bonus, and sometimes this bonus will give you like 50 extra points, or sometimes this bonus will tell you to kill 10 enemies in like so many seconds, and then you'll get 100 bonus points. And not only that, but your blessings can actually rank up. You can get up to 4 ranks, so and once you reach rank 4, every kill gets you 4 points instead of just 1. So at rank 2, you get 2 points for every kill, rank 3, 3 points for every kill, and rank 4, 4 points for every kill. Also, if you kill a boss creature, you get extra points. If you're only rank 1, you get 50 points. If you're rank 2, you get 100. Rank 3, you get 200, and rank 4, you get 250. Which I don't know why it does it like that, but it does. So the thing is, and then also, if you go to another resurrection station once you reach 25 kills, the Norn standing by those way stations, they'll also give you bonuses, and sometimes that's extra points, sometimes they'll rank up your signet for you, and sometimes they'll just give you just bonuses in general. So, you know, there's a bunch of things on this map that'll get you more than just, 1 point per kill, so you don't have to worry about it. In this map, this is why I love Sifala, on this map, the area takes up this entire space. And there's a grotto in here with over 50 enemies. Like, not even kidding. The lake is surrounded by enemies, and there's 2 bosses in this area right here. And then right here, there's a bunch of stone summit dwarves. That's another 50 plus enemies, and there's a boss in here as well. So you have at least 3 bosses, actually, and the 4th one's in the grotto. So you have 4 bosses that'll all earn you extra reputation. you have a bunch of different enemies scattered throughout here, and you have groups of, like, large groups of them where you can slaughter them in mass. And from what I've calculated whenever I'm farming this area, I've killed 365 enemies on my best day and 275 enemies on my worst day. So that's 275 to 365 points, not including the bonuses. Each time I farm this area, each time I sweep it clean, I at least get 2,000 reputation points. So you think, each pass through is 2,000 reputation points. You need 26,000 in order to get rank 5. It really will not take you that long. It just takes a lot of patience and a lot of, like, getting used to, like, the repetitiveness of everything. So it's really not that bad. I promise it's really not that bad. Like I said, after that, it's just a matter of affording everything. It's the cost that's gonna get you. So just to show you what getting the armor kind of looks like, we're going to go over to Gunner's Hold, which is where you get the Norn armor. I'm not going to buy it since, 1, I don't have the money, and 2, I've already gotten it before. It always spits me out somewhere weird, like, where am I? Oh, I have to go up here. So, in Guild Wars 1, there is no crafting, which is one of the drawbacks that people don't like, but there is no crafting. So, but you do have to get crafting materials. You have to take money and crafting materials over to the craftsman, who will then make the armor for you. So,
what is your business?
Here's where you get the Norn Prestige armor. Now, don't worry, you don't have to worry about getting the Woad or the Highlander Woad. That's not part of it. It's just the mask and downwards. So, the Norn mask costs 50 bolts of cloth and 50 fur squares plus 10 platinum. 1 platinum is 1,000 gold. So that's the exchange rate. But anyways, in total, this armor requires you to have 400 bolts of cloth, 40 fur squares, and 50 platinum, which is not cheap, especially if you have to buy the fur squares, because you haven't managed to salvage it. Like, bolts of cloth, you can easily get 400. It's the more rare materials, like the fur square, that you'll probably have to buy from a rare material trader. And per square of fur square, you will probably end up paying anywhere from 300 gold to 500 gold. Rare materials like the rubies and sapphires can run you 1 platinum, 200 gold, something like that. So that's what's really gonna take long for the armor. It's not farming the reputation, it's actually getting the money to afford it once you have that reputation. But yeah, so that's the gist of the Hall of Monuments. Like, you just have to get to a port town, and once you get to the port town, which is either Kaineng Center in Cantha, Commodon in Ilona, or Kryda in the Prophecies campaign, once you get to one of those places, you'll then be given a quest to go check out the earthquakes, which will then lead you to Eye of the North. After that, if you play through Eye of the North, you can get all the tabards, unlock all the stations and Hall of Monuments, and then you can start grinding for those achievements to get those statues so that you can get the points. But now we're going to go ahead and head over to Guild Wars 2. I know this video is already really long, but we're going to head over to Guild Wars 2, and I'm going to show you the Hall of Monuments and how it works with that. Alrighty, and we are back. Okay, so anyways, we're here in Lion's Arch, even though stuff hasn't finished rendering, and that's my bad. We are back on Erse, because I remade her in Guild Wars 2 as my first character. But anyways, when you decide that you're going to play Guild Wars 2, there is a way, which you have to check online because it might have changed, that you have to link your 2 accounts, your Guild Wars 1 account and your Guild Wars 2 account. And when you do that, you will actually get this orb here. I can outrun a centaur. Good for you. You can outrun a centaur. I'm so proud. You get this portal stone to the Hall of Monuments, and double-clicking this stone, which you only get it if you've linked your accounts already, double-clicking this stone takes you to the Eye of the North, which hopefully this does not take very long to load. And I was going to show you guys the website, because there is a website where you can actually track your progress. I will probably show you that website after I'm done here. Okay, so here we are in Eye of the North, and as you can see, it loads as like an instance. I'll zoom out a little bit, but you can see some of the rewards in the Eye of the North. So here is my juvenile Black Moa, which if I were playing a ranger, I could tame. The Black Moa is actually a special pet that is only given to people that have done the Hall of Monuments and have earned enough points. Looking at my list, my handy dandy list, you need 15 points to get the Black Moa. And there is one more exclusive pet, which I'll show you right now. So as you can see, this really is Eye of the North. Like, it's all old, there's ghosts.
Pain for pain!
It's all like, yeah, really slow. But yeah. And there's the other pet right there, and that is the juvenile rainbow jellyfish. So if you look at your pet mastery and stuff, your pet management, there is a slot for a rainbow jellyfish, and there's a slot for a Black Moa too. But you can only get these pets if you've done the Hall of Monuments. So this is tameable as well. So there's this guy right here, Kimes the Historian. He was actually in our Hall of Monuments in Guild Wars 1, except now he's dead. And if you talk to him, I recognize the worthiness of your soul, hero. I cling to this world in order to guard these items destined for you. Centuries have passed, and you're finally here. Collect your legacy. The time has come. What items have you been keeping? They belong to a hero who earned some, but not all of these relics during their life. I've waited centuries for someone to come who embodies the same heroism. It's you. Claim what's yours. How do I earn the rest? Only the ancient hero from the period following the Guild Wars, when prophecies were fulfilled in Tyria, when factions were united in Cantha, and when nightfall fell upon Ilona, can quest for these relics. Why are you here of all places? I returned with the Ebon Vanguard when they were recalled to their final home in Ebonhawk. It was there that I drew my last breath, but I've always known that this is where I belonged. If I pass on your grave, I'll reflect on your determination. So you talk to him again, show me my legacy, and here we have it. So here are all the things I've unlocked. They do not show you what you haven't unlocked yet. But these are the things that I've personally unlocked. I, of course, have the two pets. Heritage War Boots, which I can preview even though I can't wear. So there's the Heritage War Boots, and I won't go through all of these. The Heritage Shoes, just different things. I accidentally clicked out of his. But yeah. So the Heritage gear, if you get one pair of shoes, you get like all of them. It's for your heavy, medium, and light. Same with the pants, the leggings. It's heavy, medium, light. So I have the Heritage footwear, Heritage legwear, Heritage chestwear, Heritage armwear, and the Heritage shoulderwear, and yeah, and the Heritage war helm, which is nice. And then of course just the Heritage headwear in general. So you get like the mask. The mask isn't too bad. Yeah, I know it's like this half like Phantom of the Opera thing. So I like the Heritage war helm. Blah, blah, blah. I like how wingy it is. I currently have my Char wearing it. It's one of my favorites. I could outrun a centaur. And then you get weapon skins as well. So I get the gnarled walking staff, which is just like a giant branch, but it's pretty cool. It's got this neat little aura wrapped around it. The living short bow, I didn't really care for too much. It's just a branch. You just get a branch. And the fiery dragon sword. This is one thing people have commented on the most. They're like, whoa, I always wanted the fiery dragon sword, because of course it's just like Ritlock's sword. And it's because it is. Like, I have a fiery dragon sword. I have a fiery dragon sword, like, on my character in the original Guild Wars. And so getting this relic, that was actually really cool. So the fiery dragon sword, in order to get that, you need at least 10 points. So some of these things are actually like really easy, because like I said, the pets can get you an automatic 1 point, which will automatically unlock the shoes for you. So you get the footwear the minute you put in that first pet, you know, and if it's a rare pet, that gets you an extra point, which means you get the pants. And if it's a unique pet, you of course still just get the pants, because that's just 2 points. But collecting miniatures is really easy, and you'll get a majority of these items from collecting the pets, but you do have to do the other stuff as well. I could outrun a centaur. So we got some shields here. I don't really use shields. The Baroque mask was really random. They have heavy, light, and medium, So anybody can wear this like gesture mask. Centurion's Claw, which is actually it's actually an artifact that you hear about in the novels, the Guild Wars novels. You can get that. There's rifles. See, I don't like the regular rifles, but I do like my new rifle, which was the Sea Thunder pistol, and it's because it's a fish. And we can look at it wielded. It's a fish. I think it's hilarious. I don't know. But you also get miniatures as well. So the miniature baby Orion. I can show you that right there. I don't know what pet I had before. I think I had this one. I'm hoping I had this one. Or I had this one, but I think I had this one. But yeah, so the miniature baby Orion chicken. There's also, like, up here, there was, like, an orange tabby cat. There we go. The tabby cat looks terrible, but you get that miniature as well. The Heavenly Bracers is what I just recently got. And I really like those because they've got wings. I wouldn't put them on this character, but I did put it on Sernoon, and I put it on Ollie. And then I got the Deldrimor Mace, which I thought was kind of stupid looking. But it's a dwarven mace, you know. You can't find very many Deldrimor artifacts since most of the dwarves, all of the dwarves except for one, have been wiped out. And I also unlocked the Charismatic Focus, which just puts like this focus on your wrist. It doesn't look that good on Erse, but if you show it, it's wielded. At least on Tunalis it looks pretty cool. On Erse it doesn't look too bad, but it doesn't match your outfit. So like I said, this is just some of the stuff that you can get. I don't have all of it. I'm nowhere near having all of it. I still need several more things, but more of the items. The next thing on my list that I'll earn is a raccoon miniature. You get an Ethos longbow, a fell blade, an Ice Lord's diadem, Icebreaker, and a white raven skin, which I don't know what the white raven skin is, but you get it. I think you just put it on regular raven. The flaming beacon, a red servitor golem, which I guess is another miniature. You get the Stygian Reaver, a mountain called Warhorn, and Fire God's Vambraces, and Black Widow Spider. The Black Widow Spider is probably going to be the last pet that is tameable, and that's because the Black Widow and the Black Moa were both very special pets that you could get in Guild Wars 1 by completing certain achievements. So yeah, so that's it. That's the Hall of Monuments. That is basically what it comes down to, is you do things in Guild Wars 1, you link your accounts, and then it shows you what you've accomplished in Guild Wars 2. So what we can do now is we could either press this, or we can just go through the portal. Either way, it'll send you back to where you were the last, wherever you used the portal stone. Now the portal stone, you're able to throw it away, but I don't know how to get it back after you throw it away, so please keep one in your bank. Your characters will get one. Each character you have will get a portal stone. But, always just keep one in your bank. That way, if someone throws it away, you know you at least have one. Because I don't like having a billion orbs in my inventory, so, because it does take up some room. But anyways, now that I've shown you that, I guess I'll head over to the website now, and I will show you how that whole thing works. Alrighty, so here we are at the Hall of Monuments reward calculator. It's on the Guild Wars 2 website. The actual website, I'm sure you can see on my screen, is of course hom.guildwars2.com. And discover your legacy in the Hall of Monuments. Enter your Guild Wars character name to see what you've earned for Guild Wars 2. Earn special Guild Wars 2 rewards based on your achievements in the original Guild Wars and Guild Wars Eye of the North. Use the Hall of Monuments reward calculator to determine what rewards you've unlocked, how the benefits are calculated, and what other items are available. Just enter your Guild Wars character name in the field above to get started. If you don't have a character name to use, you can still access the reward calculator in demo mode. And this gives you like the FAQ on how to get all this to work. So even if my tutorial doesn't do you any good, you can still check out the FAQ on how the Hall of Monuments works, and how to get rewards, and how to do the thing, and how to link your account. So I'm going to put in my character name, which is Erse Mitsuhide, and we are going to go click on my shit. Okay, so this is currently what I've earned. As you saw, I've earned up to the Deldrimor Mace, and the only thing that's not registering here is I already have the Charismatic Prism and the Rainbow Jellyfish.
and I get a title as well called Chosen. So it's not showing it, which is kind of frustrating. But this does tend to glitch up. I mean, and heck, even if it didn't like mess up, I just got stuff extra, so that's okay. But I did fill up my devotion, as I said, and what you can do is you can actually click on the specific things. So I just clicked on devotion, right? And then here you have fellowship, here you have honor, here you have resilience, and here you have valor. So these are golden, which means I have earned all of these for collecting the mini pets. The hero statues, again, I don't have any of those, but yeah. But anyways, if I go over here, this shows me what I haven't obtained. So I haven't gotten these statues for Zenmai, Norgu, Gorin, Zed Shadowhoof, all these people. These are all my heroes. Same as like the Black Moa, the Imperial Phoenix, the Black Widow Spider. Those are the special pets and the rare pets that I can get extra points for as well. So there's all those things going on. And it shows me what I've already completed as well. Same thing goes with honor. So I got 3 points for accounts linked, which means, I mean, hey, if you link your accounts, even if you don't beat the game, you at least get 3 points, which will get you up to the heritage chest gear. So that's a thing. But yeah, and these are all the titles that I can get: Eternal Champion, Eternal Commander, and whenever you go over them, it shows you like where these points would fit. So for Eternal Commander, that's a PvP statue, so I guess that's a PvP thing. Eternal Skills, I don't know how any of these are, how you get any of these. And the great thing is that you can always go on the Guild Wars wiki. The Guild Wars wiki has all the answers. It gives you a complete walkthrough of all the quests. It gives you the complete walkthrough of how to achieve all the different titles. It tells you exactly where to go, how to do it, how you know it's been completed, etc., etc., etc. Do I get anything for Alehound? I do! Because I've been drinking like a lot in Guild Wars. I love drinking in Guild Wars, and I only do it on Airsay, so Airsay's always a drunk. It's great. But yeah, so it did do my Bobby and armor statue. Okay, that's cool. Ooh, 5 armor statues. Oh, that's a full display. Ha 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 ha. But at least it got my Bobby in, so I think this is just all glitchy. But yeah, so Elite Canthan armor, Elite Exotic, Kurzik, Luxon, Imperial, Ascended, Ancient. Like, there's so many things. Like, I have to get so much money because there's more armors that I could get. And then once I get one more armor, I have a full display. And then that'll earn me 2 points, which will put me up to the Raccoon. Or, if it actually counts it right, will actually put me up to the Ithis Longbow, which would be pretty cool. Same with the weapons. Like I said, the oppressor weapons aren't that hard to get, but I'd have to get like several in order to get any new points. So say I finally got the sword, and then after that still wouldn't earn me any points because it's not anything new, but it would put me towards like 5 more statues. But then I'd have to get the spear, and then the shield, and then the scythe, and then finally I would get a singular point. So that shows you like just how much effort has to go into basically earning some of these points. They're not easy. Some of these are extremely hard. Tormented, yeah, right. That is like never gonna happen. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of bounties to get 40 medals of honor to afford 4 more oppressor weapons to add to my collection, even though nobody can really use them. But yeah, so, and these are, like I said, these are some of the things that you can still get. It shows you it's this longbow, Fellblade, Ice Lord's Diadem, the Icebreaker. Whoa! White Raven skin, a rare albino raven animal companion for your ranger. So you can get the White Raven too, as a pet. It's not just a skin. That's pretty neat. But yeah, but anyways, that's all glitched out. But so this page is just boned. But yeah, no, that's actually pretty cool. Arcus Sphere. I haven't linked any of my accounts. It probably, yeah, it wouldn't register it. I knew it wouldn't. Because I have 2 Guild Wars accounts, so, because I use one for my Let's Play. But anyway, so yeah, so that's the Hall of Monuments. That's the Hall of Monuments calculator. This is just me showing off a little what I've done. a little of the things that you can do. The easiest achievements, which I said are the miniatures and the armor sets. So even if you don't plan on beating the games, if you link your account, it's automatic 3 points. If you buy yourself some miniatures, which people will basically give them away sometimes. I know that I got a crap ton that somebody just handed to me the other day because they take up so much space in your treasure chests and stuff. Like, so people will sometimes just give them away. You can buy those in Commodon, or people will give them to you in Commodon. You need 50 of them. You cannot place duplicates, so you have to have 50 separate ones. So go on the Guild Wars wiki, look up a list of all the miniatures, write them down, and check them off as you get them. That's the easiest way to know what you have and what you don't have. Same with the Hall of Monuments. They actually have a printer version. So when you go, to your rewards, which this is broken, I broke the page, but when you go to your rewards, it actually has a printer-friendly version, and you can actually choose the option of printing out your personal to-do list. You can print out the stuff that you haven't accomplished, so that as you accomplish it, you can just kind of check it off. So that's actually really, really helpful in that sense. So yeah, so definitely check those things out. If you do want to play Guild Wars, like I said, it's $20. You pay $20, you never pay anything else. You know, it may seem like a lot, but if it gets you free stuff in Guild Wars 2, well, you know, it kind of evens itself out. Plus, it's a new game that you can try. It does teach you a lot of history about where Guild Wars 2 is taking place. You get to see some of the internal struggles between the races, especially the human and the Char. You get to learn a lot of history, and it's really cool to go back and just kind of look at places and be like, oh wow, you know, this place is owned by the Char in Guild Wars 2, and wow, this place is completely in ruins in Guild Wars 2, or, oh cool, this is where Primordius, like, rose, you know, like, there's some really neat things if you're interested in the lore and the story. But I won't go on too much of a spiel because this video is already long enough as it is. But yeah, so if ever you're interested in doing the Hall of Monuments, I say go for it. Some of the item skins look a little weird, but, you know, honestly what it comes down to is these are things that nobody else has unless they've played the original Guild Wars. These are special items. Like I said, you can't craft them in Guild Wars 2. You can't buy them in Guild Wars 2. And you can't trade for them in Guild Wars 2. Like, these are things that you actually have to really solidly earn in order to have, and they're very special in that way. So I think it's it's a worthy endeavor. But anyways, that's all I got for this one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. I hope it showed you some of the stuff that you can get and made it worth your while, or it just showed you that it's really not something that you're interested in. I mean, either way, as long as it helped you in one way or the other, I'm happy with it. So thanks so much for tuning in, and as always, I'll see you all in the next one. Alright, ciao you guys.